Tony Licata, he has lost only one of his 50 fights. And we're ready to go with round number one. And there is an old man somewhere in Lutz, Florida, watching tonight's fight, Bill Gore, who was Tony Licata's original trainer. Now he's watching tonight. Bill, your man Tony Licata is in there against the best. The very best of luck to him and to you, Bill Gore. Tony Licata, his best punch is his left hand. His best punch is a jab. He can box. He's got a good chin. This is the book on him. Carlos Monzon, there is nothing that I can tell you that would be a weakness for this man. He is a complete fighter, a perfectly complete fighter, and he is now showing that he is even a little more than that by complaining early in the round about a butt. He doesn't want to suffer the same fate that his countryman Victor Galita suffered in the first fight, and he's a little afraid of Tony using his head. Tony Licata in the black trunks with the white piping, and the champion Carlos Monzon black with red. That's Monzon. If you have a black and white screen, Monzon is the man with the striped socks. The referee is Tony Perez. Monzon just taking his time. He's waiting. He's waiting for Licata to make the big mistake of rushing in on him. Licata's, the left side of his nose is a little bit red. Licata is a little bit tight, and it could be expected of a 23-year-old fighting in Madison Square Garden for the first time and fighting the great Carlos Monzon for the world middleweight title. We're in round number one, and 2 minutes have gone by. They say that Monzon is fighting on 33-year-old legs and that he could go at any time. And it's always the one fight where he shows up. Could it be this fight or will it be this fight? Only time will tell. Tony Licata, young, 23 years old, still on the upgrade. Hasn't reached his top level yet, the experts say. Trying to do it tonight against the best. Undefeated in 11 years, 78 in a row. Carlos Monzon. Monzon trained very hard for this fight here in New York. Had trouble getting sparring partners. Nobody wanted to work with him. Everybody said he hits too hard and they don't need it for the kind of money that's a sparring partner. Good right hand by Monzon. The round is almost over. Round number one. Monzon is a methodical fighter. That's the end of round number one. And let's follow the champion over to his corner. As I started to say, he seems completely unconcerned. He's got the manner of a champion. He's got all the mannerisms. He's got the aloofness of one. And let's see if he can keep it all the way through this fight, or whether he will spoil the dream of Tony Licata. We're in round number two for the world middleweight title. Carlos Monzon, he is on the far side with the striped socks, and that's Tony Licata in the black trunks with the white piping. Tony Licata, 23 years old. He's going to have to move in this fight because Monzon hasn't turned it on yet. He's just looking Licata over as much as to say, come on, young fella, let's see what you've got. I'll take a few samples and then we'll go to work. During his sparring sessions in the gym here in New York while he was training for the fight, I noticed that Monzon did miss with his right hand quite a bit. Just threw a long right hand that went over that of Tony Licata. And if he's depending on that right hand tonight, he better be a lot more sharp with it than he was in his sparring sessions while he was training. We're in round number two, and we're at Madison Square Garden, and this is John Condon with you. This is the second of two world title fights out of the Garden tonight. Coming up, you know what, from Kuala Lumpur, Muhammad Ali and Joe Bugner, the world heavyweight title. Monzon, very, very aloof. Just walks in, throws half-speed punches, trying to sucker Licata into throwing a punch. Licata is well schooled. He's got a good manager. He's got a very smart manager, Lou Viscusi. He's had 3 world champions. Willie Pep was one of them. And he's got Eddie Futch in his corner, who is the manager and trainer of Joe Frazier, the former world heavyweight champion. Willie Pep and Eddie Futch and Lou Viscusi in the corner of Tony Licata. Whether they can help him win this fight or not remains to be seen. Of course, when the bell rings, they pat him on the butt. He walks out to the middle of the ring, and the 3 of them sit down and watch. Licata caught a left hand. He caught a left hand. He started to throw his right hand, and it hurt him a little bit. It hurt him, and Monzon knows it. Monzon knows it. He caught Licata with a left hand. He hurt him. Monzon caught him with a left hand. He puts it to left hand. Now he knows that he has Licata in trouble. And Licata's going to get out of there because this is a real smart champion. He's going to take him. Licata had better get on a bicycle right now to stay out of trouble. He is hurt, and he's flat-footed, and he's walking around the ring, and the left hook is the punch that did it. He threw a punch, it landed, and he fell down, and that's the end of the round, number 2. The left hook that Licata threw just at the end of the round just grazed off the chin, I thought, of Carlos Monzon, and the momentum carried him through. He felt Licata was in trouble in that round from the left hook. Monzon knows what he can do now. Monzon is a smart champion, as we said. He probably has Licata figured out now. He probably figures that he might be able to do it with the left hand. He is trying to sucker Licata into coming at him, and if he does, he's going to try to catch him. Monzon is very worried about that butt. He holds his head back, and when they get inside, he just throws his head right up to the sky and tries to keep his head away, his chin or his eyes away from the head of Tony Licata. We're in round 3. Tony Licata stung in the second round, hurt. Monzon looking for the opening. Methodical fighter, as I told you, slips half-speed punches into the midsection. He's throwing half-speed punches. The left hook that he threw was a full-force punch, and he did some damage with it. Tried to follow it up, but Licata got out of trouble. Apparently, they've told Licata to move now, use up the ring, and Monzon says, come on and fight. Licata says, come and get me, or Monzon says, come and get me, but Licata is not about to do that. Monzon is putting on a little bit of a show now. It is not going to bother Licata, I'm sure. He is not going to do what Mr. Monzon wants him to do. Monzon wants him to take the lead. He wants him to move in. He wants to catch him coming in. Licata moving from side to side. A flurry by Monzon. Good. His punches are landing. They're not full force punches, but they're landing. He's opening up a little bit more now than he did in the first 2 rounds. Licata is strictly a boxer. Monzon a puncher and a boxer. He can do both. Round number 3. Monzon with his back to us. That's Licata on the left. 10 years difference in age. Monzon 33, Licata 23. Monzon an excellent lead. 78 in a row. He's working on a 79th. Undefeated in 11 years. The champion, the middleweight champion of the world. Fighting a young 23-year-old. And they're booing. I think they're booing Licata because I think some of the people here think that Licata is trying to deliberately butt Monzon. And the cat birds let out, and Monzon ducks away from 2 left hooks by Licata. Round 3 is all over. There's Monzon, the champion, but it was as much a butt by Monzon as it was Licata. Here we go with round number 4. Licata has a little bit of a mark on the left side, on the corner of his left eye. A little bit of a mark. I don't see a cut, but it's a little red there. Monzon's wife is here. She's a movie actress in Argentina. Professionally, she's known as Susana Jimenez. Round number 4, Madison Square Garden. The world middleweight title. Carlos Monzon, the champion, in the striped socks against Tony Licata with the black trunks and white piping. Licata is not punching when he moves inside. And from outside, he is vulnerable. The best fight he can fight is to move inside and try to stay away from the long-range punches of the champion, Monzon. His best fight as well, his opponent is outside. He's got long arms, he's got a good reach. This is what I mean. He can throw to the body and to the head from outside. Inside, those punches go over the head or they become looping punches that do not do much damage. Outside, he is very, very vulnerable. Tony Licata is, at least, and Mr. Monzon is very potent. The best fight that Licata could fight would be to stick his head on Monzon's chest and punch from inside, but he's fighting from outside, and it's not the kind of fight that he should fight. And Licata is taking them now. He's taking some pretty good punches from Monzon. There's a left hook, a real good left hook, and it's a good thing that Licata has a good shin. They said he has, and he just proved that he has. From outside, it's Monzon having things pretty much his own way now. Monzon said within 5 rounds he'll do it. No more than 5 rounds will the fight last, according to Carlos Monzon. Round 4, about 2.5 minutes gone. Monzon is throwing half-speed punches yet. He's trying to let Licata get a little confident, and when he comes in, he catches him. He's doing a pretty good job, Monzon is. He's doing a real workmanlike job on Licata now. Licata comes in a long left hand and finds the mark. Didn't do much damage at all to Monzon. Licata is tired, and the way he's throwing his punches now, his body is very tired. That's the end of round 4. I think that Monzon's prediction could be from Argentina. Okay, the real attraction here tonight is right there in the center of the ring. Carlos Monzon defending his title against Tony Licata, and he says he will do it in 5 rounds. This is round number 5. Let's see how good he is. There's another guy who predicts rounds, and he's good at it. He's sitting somewhere in Malaysia right now watching this, and Monzon is taking a little line out of his book. Ali. Okay. Tony is trying to get a right hand across on Monzon. He's slow with it, and there's no way that he's going to get that across at the speed that he's throwing it. No way. From out there, as I said, he is a very, very vulnerable fighter. If he can fight inside, that's where his fight should be. Carlos Monzon, the champion. A long right hand by Licata. Just grazed the chest of the champion. Those punches are landing. It grazed the right hand, grazed off the top of the head of Licata. There's another right hand on the left hand, and now he's throwing real good punches. Now Licata is getting all of them. He's catching all of them at the moment, and he's missing with his own. He is not covering up his body. He does not have his hands in front of him. He is wide open for any kind of a punch that Monzon will throw. It doesn't make any difference. Monzon is landing with every one of them. And referee Tony Perez is taking a good look at Tony Licata at the moment. He's taking punishment. Those long punches are finding a mark. Monzon has everything his own way at the moment. Long right hand, good punch. Licata found the mark. Monzon caught it. Tied him up from inside, came right back. It had no effect on Monzon, apparently. Somebody behind me is yelling for Tony to keep moving, and that's the best advice he could get. There's another right hand by Monzon, and anybody who told us that Licata had a good chin, the truth, because he certainly has. He's caught a lot of good right hands, and he's catching all kinds of punches to the body and to the head, and he's weathering them all. He's a tired young man. We have 2.5 minutes gone in round number 5. We have about 30 seconds left for Monzon to keep his promise of a 5-round knockout. Can he do it? Couldn't hit him that way. Look who's behind me. The round is almost over. Monzon said in 5 rounds. It doesn't look that way. That's the end of round number 5. Monzon did not keep his prediction. I would have to say that the right hand, he got a couple of right hands in. The right hand that Licata got in. Ramona Licata. Not at the fight, but rooting for her man. Round number 6 coming up. That's Carlos Monzon in the black trunks with the red piping, and Tony Licata in the black with the white piping. Round number 6. Tony Perez is the referee, and Licata seems to have gotten a little bit of steam somewhere. He was pretty good in that last round. Now he comes out with a pretty good start in the 6th round here at Madison Square Garden. Licata's got to use up that ring. He's got to move, and he's got to move from side to side, not straight back. Moving straight back is how he'll get caught. He's got to move when he comes out from a clinch like this. He's got to move to the side and not straight back. Use up the ring, box him. That's what he can do. He is not a puncher. He's got the best left hand in the ring, perhaps, but that's the only punch he has. Monzon can hit you with either hand. He can knock you out with either hand. He is a very good boxer also. Licata can win only on his boxing ability. Monzon can win by a knockout or by outboxing. Licata's timing is better now than it was in the early rounds. He might have settled down. He might have had a little bit of gardenitis, as they call it. He seems to be a lot more cool than he was in the earlier rounds. He seems to be able to do some things that he wants to do, at least. He's got his hands up in front of him. Before, when he was getting peppered with blows, his hands were at his side. Now he's not what he should do in the earlier rounds, getting inside and punching. Punch, get inside, and keep punching. Out there, you're in trouble, Tony. If you're out there, if you stay out there, you're going to have to move. Stay in there and punch. Your hands are free, you should be punching. Very, very smooth operator, Carlos Monzon. He misses with a punch. Licata lunges at him, and he's going to lunge at him maybe once too often because he's wide open when he lunges. He tries to get that left hand across, but the right hand is down around his knees, and he's wide open on the left side. He drops his hands, and he gets caught. While his hands are up there, he's okay. Round number 6 is almost over. Licata doing a lot better now than he did in the earlier rounds. Only seconds remain in round number 6. Missing. Monzon is missing, and that's the end of round number 6. And now Licata is doing exactly what he should have been doing in the earlier round. Come on, Carlos, baby. Do the trick. Here we go. Round number 7. Here we go. Round number 7. Carlos Monzon, black trunks with the red stripe, and Tony Licata, black trunks with the white stripe. The 7th round, and Licata came to life in the last 2 rounds. He's doing exactly what he should do. Move from side to side. Get inside and punch from inside. And if you're going to stay out there, Tony, keep moving. Keep your hands up in front of you and move. Tony is trying to reach Monzon with that left hand with the jab. As I told you, the left hand is the best weapon that Tony Licata has. Round 7. Carlos Monzon, 78 in a row, looking to win his 79th in a row. Hasn't lost a fight in 11 years. Only Ray Robinson can beat a record like that. He won 95 in a row. He's here tonight, by the way. Monzon, methodical, waiting. He's waiting for Licata to make a mistake. Licata's young, 23 years old, fighting in a big arena, Madison Square Garden, for the first time in his life. Fighting him who could be the best fighter, inch for inch, in the world today. If he makes that mistake, you can bet that Monzon will capitalize on it. He made it. He missed, and he caught a right hand. He's making mistakes along the way, but he's a gallant and a game warrior, Tony Licata. He took some real good punches from Monzon, and a guy with a weaker chin might have been out of there by now. Don't stand there, Tony. Get out of there. That's it. Move side to side. Monzon is fighting like he's fighting out of a book. Left hand, right hand, punches to the body, waiting for his opponent to make a mistake. Very, very methodical. He's fought some real tough wars. Emil Griffith, 2 of them. Good right hand. A real good right hand by Tony Licata. Found the mark. Shook Monzon for just a second. No apparent damage, no apparent effect. From inside, Monzon is working real well, and he's doing it because Tony is not punching back inside. He is open, his body is open, and Monzon is capitalizing on it. These are the mistakes that Tony Licata, the young 23-year-old challenger, is making. Backing straight away with his hands down is another. That's the end of round number 7. On Carlos Monzon. There's Tony Licata, fighting a lot better fight than he did in the early rounds. Here we come with round number 8. Tony Licata first with the white stripes, and Carlos Monzon black with the red. Monzon in the striped socks. We're in Madison Square Garden. This is John Condon, the second of 2 world title fights. In the first one, Victor Galindez defended his world light heavyweight title successfully against Jorge Ahumada, 15-round decision. We're in round number 8 now, and Monzon, Carlos Monzon, the middleweight champion, has to be ahead on points in this one in round number 8. He said he would do it in 5. He did not do it in 5. We're in round number 8. Can Licata go to 15 rounds? It's going to be tough. Licata's doing very well at the moment, however. His punches do not have the force in them that Monzon's have, but he's landing punches. He's doing a lot better than he did in the earlier rounds, and he's scoring points. His left hand, he threw 3 left hands, 3 hooks to the side of the head in that last flurry. Monzon not using those 33-year-old legs too much. Just walking around the ring, not dancing, not up on his toes. Just walking toward his opponent, and when he finds room, he lands blows. There he goes. Right hand and then the left hand. When he sees an opening, he capitalizes on it. Body and head. Right hand. A right hand to Licata. A long right hand is right on the button of Carlos Monzon, the champion. Oddly enough, it's Licata who has landed that right hand, which was not supposed to be too much of a punch, but he's landed it very successfully in the last 3 rounds. Again, he landed it. If it had any powder in it, Monzon might have been out of there. He's landed about 4 or 5 good right hands on Monzon, but Monzon just shakes them off and comes back. Round number 8, a right hand, and Licata is down. Licata is down. We're looking right into his eyes. And the referee is up there. And the count is 7. Count is 8. He's on his feet, and he shakes his hand and said he's all right. There's about 30 seconds remaining in round number 8. And Monzon is trying to follow up. He's trying for the knockout. This is the 8th round. The round has only seconds remaining in it. Licata is hurt. Remember the continuous count if he goes down and the bell rings. And Licata is very hurt. He's very hurt. Monzon landing all kinds of punches. And that's the end of the round. I think referee Tony Perez was about to jump in, but I do not know. I'm trying to use them feverishly. We're coming up to round number 9. Monzon is already on his feet, and they're getting to Licata ready to go, and here we go. Tony Licata in the black trunks with the white stripes. Carlos Monzon black with the red. Round number 9. Argentina. That's the Argentine fans here yelling for their champion, Monzon. Licata, a gutsy young 23-year-old. He's taken a lot of punishment. A lot of fighters would have said, I had enough. Not Tony Licata. He's fighting a fight of his life here at Madison Square Garden, trying to win the world middleweight title from probably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the ring today. Undefeated in 11 years, looking for a 79th straight victory. Licata very tired, very game. No cuts. Good legs. This is where all the road work pays off. All the training, all the hard work, Jim, all the running on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning is paying off now for Licata. A well-conditioned fighter could not have taken this. Monzon right over our microphone right now, looking to find the right spot to land the right punch. That's what Monzon is doing at the moment. Wild with the right hand. Not enough steam on it. He landed it, but there wasn't a lot of steam on it. Round number 9. Licata, a game warrior who thought that he'd last this long in this round after what he took in the last round. 2 minutes gone in the round. Now he's getting caught again. Monzon is going to work. Monzon is hitting him now with both hands. Licata comes back with the right hand. What a fighter this kid Licata is. He eats 7 or 8 punches by Monzon and comes back with a big right hand. Now he's taking him again. There's been some great fighters in Madison Square Garden. Tony Licata is one of them. He's a game fighter, this kid, 23-year-old kid out of Tampa, Florida. In Tampa, you can be very proud of this young man. So can you people in New Orleans, Tony's hometown. He's taking punches. He can't seem to avoid at the moment. But look at it, he's forcing the fight. He's forcing the fight. He's taking the punches and forcing the fight, and the round is almost over. Round number 9. Look at this kid. Look at him. A truly great fighter. Tony Licata, that's the end of round number 9. I don't care what the margin is right now in Monzon's favor. Tony Licata custed it down as one of the best fighters as a fighter ever in Madison Square Garden. We're gonna show you some of the punishment that he took, that Tony Licata took in this round. Slow motion. Now watch, almost every punch lands by Monzon. A right hand, a left hand, off balance, a right hand, another one, comes straight through. He side of the glove. He hasn't missed a blow yet. He hasn't missed with one. Licata trying to get out of trouble. That's the first one that Monzon missed with, and he took a lot of punishment in that. Came back after that kind of punishment to land a good right hand of his own. We're coming to round number 10. Nobody 2 rounds ago figured that this round would go this far. Round number 10, Monzon, the champion, greets him with a left hook. Tony Licata, black trunks with the white stripes. Round number 10, and look at this kid go. We ought to have a parade for Licata when he gets back to Tampa. I don't care what the outcome of this fight is. He's a gutsy young man, and he deserves the title of a fighter. He deserves to have the name of a fighter. His father is here. His mother is here. His wife is back in the hotel praying for him. His brother is here. A nice gesture on the part of the champion, Carlos Monzon. Licata slipped in Monzon's corner, and Monzon refused to take advantage of it. Nice gesture. There's the right hand again by Licata. This has been a complete surprise, everybody. I can tell you that. Nobody figured that Licata would throw that many right hands all night long. But he's thrown them, and not only thrown them, he's landed with them. Monzon is very aloof, as I said, very relaxed. He's saying, let's keep going there, Tony, and sooner or later I'm going to get you. We're in round number 10, about a minute and a half gone in the round. Monzon, left hook. Licata is rubbing his right eye as if it's cut. It doesn't. There's a right hand. Licata is down. A full force right hand. He caught the end of it. Licata is hurt. He's up at the count of 5, 7, 8. He's taking the 8 count, and he is very hurt. We have less than a minute to go in the round, but Licata is in very bad shape. Licata is hurt. Monzon is going to go to work on him now. He's just going to wait for the right time. He's not missing many punches. He's waiting to get the right one across. Licata is straight up. He is very, very vulnerable at the moment. Monzon can almost pick his spot right now. Monzon, a cool champion. Just waiting for the right time. Licata's hands are down. His hands are down, and if I stop it now, there is no objection. That's a good move. That is an excellent move on the part of Tony Perez. An excellent move, and nobody in Licata's corner is complaining about it. Nobody. Somebody threw a tennis ball into the ring. Nobody in Licata's corner. There he is. A gutsy young kid from Tampa, Florida, Tony Licata, and we're going to see more of that young man. He's going to be around for quite some time. He lost tonight, but he lost to probably the greatest fighter in the ring today. 2 minutes, 43 seconds of the 10th round. The winner and still champion, Carlos Monzon.